Not all mutants are created equal. Some can bend reality or control minds, while others are barely stronger than a regular human. To keep track of all these wild abilities, Marvel created a system to rank mutants from the weakest to the most powerful, and some are truly unstoppable, Epsilon Level. Mutants are supposed to have awesome powers, right? Super strength, mind control, fire blasts, the kind of stuff that makes superheroes legendary. But not every mutant gets lucky. Some get stuck with abilities that are, well, pretty useless. These mutants are called Epsilon Level mutants, and they sit at the absolute bottom of the mutant power scale. No super strength, no laser eyes, just mutations that make life harder without offering much in return. Some Epsilon mutants have powers so weak they barely count as abilities. Others don't have powers at all, just strange appearances that make them stand out. Imagine waking up one day and realizing your skin is bright purple, or you have an extra pair of arms, or your face is covered in weird bumps. That's the reality for many of them. They're X gene activated, but instead of turning them into superheroes, it just made life more complicated. Take Artie Maddox, for example. His mutation turned him into a pink, hairless creature with weird growths on his head and big, blank eyes. But that's not all. He lost the ability to speak and could only communicate by projecting holograms of his thoughts. Sounds cool, right? But not in a world where you have to fight for survival. Artie's power didn't help him in battles, and his unusual appearance made him feel isolated. And then there are mutants whose abilities are completely pointless. Imagine your big mutant gift is summoning lint. Fun at a party? Maybe. Useful against Magneto? Not a chance. Some Epsilon mutants don't even get powers, just strange looks that make life harder. No super speed, no telekinesis, just extra fingers or glowing skin that doesn't help in any way. The worst part? Can't hide it. Other mutants can blend in, keeping their powers secret. But Epsilon mutants, they're stuck looking different, which makes them easy targets for discrimination. That's why many of them turn to a group called the Morlocks, mutants who live underground, away from human society. They're not trying to take over the world, they just want a place where they're not treated like freaks. However, Epsilon mutants actually make up about 20% of all mutants. They may not be the strongest or the flashiest, but their stories are just as real. Beak is another example. He looks like a bird, but doesn't have any real combat skills. Then there's Tommy Meme, a mutant whose power is completely useless. These mutants prove that in the world of X-Men, strength isn't always about how much damage you can do. It's about surviving, no matter how different you are. Delta Level. Delta Level mutants aren't the strongest, but they're definitely not weak either. They don't have crazy powers like turning into a giant or controlling time, but they have something special that gives them an edge. In fact, Delta mutants are the most common type of mutants. About half of all mutants belong to this group. Their abilities aren't flashy, but at the right moment, they can be a total game changer. Unlike mutants with big, dramatic transformations, Delta mutants usually look normal. Their powers aren't about breaking mountains or blasting energy. They're more subtle. Some have enhanced intelligence, some are insanely lucky, and others have instincts that let them predict what's coming next. They don't seem super powerful at first, but their abilities make them dangerous in their own way. Take Domino, for example. Her power? Luck, but not in a win the lottery kind of way. When she's in danger, things just go her way. If bullets are flying at her, she doesn't have to think. Her body moves at just the right moment to avoid them. If she needs to land a perfect shot, she'll hit it every time. But it's not something she can control. She has to keep moving for her luck to work. Then there's Forge. He's not building machines with super strength, but his brain works in ways no one else's does. He can look at any piece of tech, and instantly figure out how to build or fix it. He doesn't need instructions. His mind just puts the pieces together on its own. In a fight, that means he can whip up weapons or gadgets in seconds, making him way more useful than he looks. Not every Delta mutant has combat skills, but that doesn't mean their powers aren't impressive. Cypher, for example, can understand any language instantly. Spoken, written, even computer code. He can read and translate it all. Imagine how valuable that is when dealing with ancient texts or hacking into enemy systems. And then there's Doctor, Nemesis, whose power isn't super strength or laser eyes, it's pure genius. He's one of the smartest minds around, making him one of the most dangerous without ever throwing a punch. Well, Delta mutants may not be the most powerful, but they don't need to be. Their abilities are smart, strategic, and just enough to give them an advantage when it matters most. Gamma Level. Gamma Level mutants are powerful, but their powers come with big problems. Unlike Beta mutants, who have strong abilities but can still live normal lives, Gamma mutants struggle every day because of their mutations. Their powers might be amazing, but they also make them stand out in ways they can't hide. Blink, for example. She can open teleportation portals and shoot energy blasts. That's pretty cool, right? But she also has lilac skin, pink hair, and strange markings on her face. She can never blend in with normal people, and that makes her life much harder. Then there's Nightcrawler. He's fast, flexible, and can teleport in an instant. That should make him unstoppable. But here's the catch. He looks like a demon. Blue fur, glowing yellow eyes, sharp claws, and a long tail. No matter how heroic he is, people fear him just because of how he looks. Beast is another Gamma mutant with a big problem. He has super strength, insane agility, and a genius-level brain, but his body? Covered in thick blue fur. He looks more like an animal than a man. And no matter how smart he is, people judge him for his appearance first. Even Mystique, who can shapeshift into anyone, has her own struggle. Her real form? Blue skin, red hair, and yellow eyes. She can hide her true self, but she has to pretend to be someone else, just to fit in. No doubt, Gamma mutants are strong, but they don't have it easy. Their powers come with a price they can never hide. Whether it's their skin, their body shape, or something else, the world sees them as different. And in a world that fears mutants, that makes their lives even harder. Beta Level. Beta Level mutants are strong, really strong. Their powers are almost as good as Alpha mutants. But there's a problem. Their powers don't always work right. They have small flaws that make life a little harder, even with their super abilities. There's Wolverine. He can heal from almost anything. Stab him, shoot him, burn him, and he's still standing. But his healing never stops. His body is always working, which means he never really gets to rest. And let's not forget his claws. They make him a beast in battle, but they also mean he can never be a normal guy. Then there's Gambit. He can charge up objects with explosive energy, turning simple playing cards into deadly weapons. Sounds cool, right? But there's a catch. His eyes glow red with black scleras. He may look human, but those creepy eyes give him away instantly. Quicksilver is another beta mutant with a crazy strong power. Super speed. He can run faster than anyone, but speed like that isn't easy to handle. His body is always rushing, and sometimes his power is just too much to control. Imagine moving so fast the world feels like it's in slow motion. Yeah, not fun. And then we have Rogue. She can steal people's powers, skills, and memories just by touching them. But here's the problem. She can't turn it off. One accidental touch and boom, she could take everything from someone, even by mistake. For a long time, she couldn't even hold hands or hug someone without hurting them. In the end, Beta mutants are powerful, but their powers come with issues. They're strong, but not perfect. They have to learn how to control their abilities, or risk their powers controlling them. Alpha Level. Alpha Level mutants are the cool kids of the X-Men world. They've got crazy strong powers, but here's the twist. They can actually control them. No random explosions, no turning into monsters by accident. They look just like regular humans, but don't let that fool you. These mutants can do insane things whenever they want, then switch back like nothing happened. For instance, Kitty Pryde. She's just a normal-looking girl, but she can walk through walls like a ghost. No getting stuck, no losing control. She just phases through like it's no big deal. Then there's Dazzler. She looks like your average pop star, but she can turn sound into bright lights or deadly lasers. Talk about a show-stopping performance. And let's not forget Colossus. Most of the time, he looks like any other guy. But when danger strikes, boom! He turns into a giant metal powerhouse, smashing through anything in his way. But the best part? He can switch back whenever he wants. That's what makes alpha mutants special. They can blend in and then unleash their power when needed. Cyclops is another top-tier alpha mutant. At first, his eye beams were out of control, making him more of a walking disaster. But after some training, he became the leader of the X-Men, using his laser vision like a pro. Same with Rogue. She started off as a beta mutant, stealing powers by accident. But after mastering her abilities, she moved up to the level, proving that control is everything. Not to mention, alpha mutants aren't just powerful. They know exactly when and how to use their powers. No losing control, no messing things up. They fight, protect, and still live normal lives when they want to. That's why they're the backbone of the X-Men, always ready to save the day. Omega Level. Finally, Omega Level mutants are the ultimate powerhouses. No limits, no holding back. Just pure, unstoppable strength. These are the rarest of the rare, with abilities so strong they can reshape the world like it's made of clay. Other mutants have cool powers, but Omega mutants? They're in a league of their own. In addition, Jean Grey, she can read minds, move things without touching them, and even rewrite reality itself when she taps into her full power. Then there's Magneto. Sure, lots of mutants can move metal, but Magneto? He can bend the entire planet's magnetic field, rip apart cities, and crush anything in his way. And let's talk about Franklin Richards. His powers aren't just strong, they're godlike. He can create entire universes like it's an art project. Then there's Proteus, who can twist reality itself, changing the rules of existence in an instant. His power is so wild that nothing around him stays the same for long. Storm? She's not just throwing lightning bolts. She controls the weather on a massive scale. Hurricanes, blizzards, tornadoes. She can summon them all with a thought. And let's not forget Legion, who has so many abilities that he could rewrite time and space itself. Clearly, these mutants don't just have powers, they define them. Iceman's ice control? Unlimited. Hope Summers? She can copy and combine any mutant's abilities. Jamie Braddock? He warps reality like it's a game. Their powers grow stronger with time, making them impossible to beat. Omega mutants aren't just strong, they're forces of nature. So, now you know all the mutant levels. Which one would you be? Super strong like an Omega, or stuck with a useless power like an Epsilon? Tell me in the comments. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more fun content. No powers are needed, just click the button.